Your family, your health, our passion. This is Family Practice with Dr. Jeffrey Fox, sponsored by Family Practice Associates of Lexington, PSC. Visit us at fpalex.com and like us on Facebook.
Welcome to this edition of Family Practice. I'm Dr. Jeff Fox. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we have a breast specialist. Are you wheezing? It could be asthma. We've got a pulmonologist here. And next month is Thanksgiving. This is our food safety segment. All that and the American Heart Association is here. But to start us out is Miss Lindsey Clickner, who is a nurse practitioner, been with Family Practice Associates a long time.
Yep.
And you come in every year and talk about food safety.
Yes.
So let's start with what most people have for Thanksgiving, turkey.
Exactly. So it's hard to believe Thanksgiving's here, but here we are. And one of the best things about Thanksgiving is preparing a meal for your family and everyone coming together. So we want to make sure everybody leaves healthy and happy. So the biggest thing I want to come across with preparing your turkey is you want to cook it to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So that is putting the thermometer in the middle of the breast to detect the internal temperature. Now, we also want to thaw that turkey safely, right? So we don't want to wash our turkey. I know that's a hard habit to break, but the CDC says you do not need to wash that turkey. It actually spreads more of the bacteria over the sink area, and that's not necessary. You just need to de-thaw it properly. Now, also cooking the stuffing separately. That's another habit that some people have to break, but it is safer to cook the stuffing separate, and then you can stuff your turkey once it's fully cooked.
Now, we talk about turkey and cook it safely. We're probably not going to cook it here in the WKYT
Yeah.
kitchen. But there's other foods you got to be aware of too, not just turkey.
Well, sure. So, turkey is a poultry, and you're going to separate the turkey and the cutting boards. You're going to cut your fruits and vegetables on a separate cutting board, and you're going to wipe down surfaces. So washing your hands first. So you want to remember to wash any utensils that you're using to cook the turkey. You want to refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. Don't leave them sitting on the counter. Don't leave them sitting on the table. You want to get those refrigerated and cool down to about 40 degrees in a refrigerator. Of course, we said wiping the counters, wipe between every, cleaning the turkey, preparing the turkey, setting down utensils. And really that's to help spread bacteria, right? Because bacteria can be ingested, and that's what can make us sick. So if there's bacteria lingering on the surface, if we ingest that bacteria, then that's unfortunately when you hear people coming down with what we call food poisoning, which can be not a good way to spend your Thanksgiving.
Well, you mentioned food poisoning, bacteria and causes. What are some of the symptoms of food poisoning?
So if you feel like you're vomiting so often you can't keep liquids down, right? So you're vomiting, you're having a sip of water, it's coming right back up. You can get dehydrated very quickly in that situation, especially if you have diarrhea. Certainly if you have bloody diarrhea, you need to talk to your healthcare provider. Dehydration, you could get a bad headache, stomach cramps, fevers higher than 102 degrees. We need to know about that. And remember, we're always on call at Family Practice. You can contact your provider if you have questions, if you have concerns, and we can guide you through that.
Is there any certain red flag that says, hey, I'm dehydrated? How do you know you're dehydrated?
Well, that's when the stomach cramping comes in, the headaches, the fever. If you haven't urinated in more than 2 to 3 hours, if your urine's very dark and concentrated looking, that's something to be concerned and worth a phone call for sure. And you're going to want to drink water. You can drink some electrolyte waters. You don't need a lot. And saltine crackers. Get your sodium in, get your fluids in, and then of course, consult your doctor.
Okay, you talk about other foods. Are there ways to kind of eat healthy or be healthy at Thanksgiving,
yeah.
or is that just not happening?
Listen, it's great to splurge. It's great to have your favorite desserts. Don't wait all day to eat a big dinner. You might be better off having a smaller meal so that you're fuller. Now, don't skip on your favorite things, but maybe bring a smaller plate over and fill the smaller plate with the sweets and some of your favorite things so that you're not eating as much. One of my favorite tips is it takes 20 minutes for your brain to register that it's full. So you've eaten, maybe you go back for seconds, but take that time. Take that 20 minutes, get up, walk around, take a walk outside with your family. And if you're still, wanting that pumpkin pie, enjoy it.
So eat healthy, eat smart, prepare healthy, and you have a good Thanksgiving.
Sounds right.
Well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming here in the WKYT kitchen every Thanksgiving, and we'll look forward to a healthy, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.